Welcome back to the channel, Hobby-Wan Kenobi here. I am continuing work on the Hobbyboss F-105D Thunderchief in 1/48 scale. Before painting could commence, I needed to secure the windshield to the fuselage. This is done with Tamiya Extra Thin. Finally, painting can commence. I start with the lightest color of the camouflage, in this case, the tan. The tan is a mix of Tamiya paints with the ratios listed here. Rather than cover the entire aircraft this color, I decided to just shoot this color in patches, covering just the areas that were tan. The paint on the canopy would require more than one coat since the black showing from the interior of the canopy would darken the final color. The next color I sprayed was the lighter green. The ratio of Tamiya paints is also shown here. I like to thin Tamiya paints with Mr. Color Leveling Thinner at about a 1:1 ratio. I typically spray around 15 psi, but this could go lower for finer lines. Today I am using my Mr. Krios Procon Boy PS270 airbrush. At this point, I would like to take a moment to thank you for watching, and if you enjoy this content, please do like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Next, it was time to spray the dark green. The paints are listed here. I then painted the underside camouflage gray, which I achieved mixing the following Tamiya paints. Once all 4 of these colors were down, I carefully touched up each color to ensure the patterns were close to my references. I also went back over each color at the edges to help get a tighter, albeit still feathered, line. Next, it was time to paint the wheel wells. Looking at my references, I found that the front wheel well was often left the metal color, while the wheel wells at the wings were sometimes painted over with an interior green paint. To achieve the metal color, I used one of the Mr. Color Super Metallic 2 paints. I don't recall, however, the exact specific number. I then decided to paint the interior green color on the main wheel wells, but would employ the hairspray technique to create some chipping, which I found occurred in these areas on some aircraft. To begin, I applied hairspray to the metallic surface. After the hairspray dried, which took about 10 minutes, I then airbrushed the interior green color using a relatively weak paint, Vallejo model color. The color was mixed using the ratio of paints seen here. I allowed the paint to dry, but not for too long. The final step in this process is to apply water to the freshly dried green surface. The water seeps through the weaker acrylic paint and makes its way to the hairspray. The hairspray then weakens and causes the green to break up by scuffing and pricking the paint with a coarse brush and a toothpick. Now I'd like to take a moment to talk about references. I used 3 books as references for this model. The first is the Squadron Signal Walkaround. These walkaround books are always terrific, and this one is equally amazing. Lots of color photos, especially targeting the cockpit, and packed with historical info. The second is the Warbird Tech Series, Volume 18. This book has a lot of historical info and photos, but very few of them are actually in color. Finally, the In Detail and Scale Volume 15. This book is the best of the 3, with plenty of photos in color and black and white, lots of info and diagrams all over the place, including diagrams of each of the wing pylons. This book was my most used during this build, but the Squadron Walkaround would be enough all by itself. I can't really recommend the Warbird Tech book. I simply found it too lacking in useful color photos. Finally, the model received a coat of Mission Models gloss in preparation for the decals and eventual oil wash. Well, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.